I am pleased to welcome Jen Maxfield Ostfeld.
As a local news reporter for the past 17 years, I estimate that I have had the opportunity to interview at least 9,000 people on camera for the more than 3,000 stories I've reported during that time. And please understand, when I say that I interviewed them, I don't mean that I called them on the phone or quoted their tweets or that a field producer did the interview and fed it back to me in the office. No, what I mean is these are face-to-face meetings where we look each other in the eye, shake hands, laugh, cry with close to 10,000 people. It's an amazing and incredible privilege to tell other people's stories, and I feel a great responsibility to get those stories right. Just last month, I spoke for close to an hour with Jimmy Drake, whose son was one of 8 people killed by a terrorist in New York City. He was just riding his bike on the bike path in Tribeca. Our conversation was so personal and so painful, and yet I had just met him. He wanted to tell me all about his wonderful son, and my photographer and I wanted to listen. More than anything, we all want to connect. It's such an essential human instinct, and yet I worry sometimes that we're losing some of that when we conduct so many of our relationships over email and texting. My story assignments at NBC4 have led me into so many people's lives. I oftentimes say I'm with people on their best days, and sometimes I'm with people on their worst days. But figuratively stepping into another person's shoes and literally walking into their homes has informed my own philanthropy. Spending time in a successful charter school in Newark has made a priority for me, being equal access to education for all. And being in public housing apartments with families who don't have healthy food and in some cases don't have heat have informed my decision to help give fresh food and rental assistance to people in need. And that is why I think that JWI is providing such essential services around the world. They aren't just writing checks, although let's face it, that is important, but they're supporting women and girls in face-to-face, hands-on programs. People who are suffering want to connect. They want to know that they're not alone. JWI helps break the cycle of isolation, whether it's isolation through poverty or domestic violence. And JWI celebrates the joy of coming together on mentoring and encouraging young women to demand equality. So thank you to each and every one of you for coming out today, for taking the time to connect with each other and to connect with me. I'm humbled and honored to be sharing the stage with my fellow honorees, and I'm inspired by all of you. Thank you.